Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it's that time of the week again, and we're going to make our Pie Day video. But this week, we're going to do it a bit different. See, every week, we do a daft video, we mess about, basically talk shite. But I thought, I think people really, they need to start to take us a bit more seriously. And so tonight, I'd like to do a really heartfelt, serious video for a change. Now, we do these videos for Pie Day. It's a very, very successful day in the pub. It's very popular, and it's really put us on the map. And all this is down basically to one guy, and that is Ian Rayton.
Hello.
Now, we've all seen him messing about and painting his face and telling jokes and acting daft. But what is the man behind the bandana really, really like? Well, I'd like to find out. So, Ian, thank you for agreeing to speak to me tonight. And if you don't mind, I'd just like to ask you a few questions about yourself, and so the public can get to know you better. Is that all right? If at any time you don't want to answer anything or you're feeling uncomfortable, you can tell me to stop. I'm not saying I will, but you can ask. Now, the thing is, like when, I know you're a very good chef anyway, he is, and all his food's wonderful, but his signature dish are his pies. Now, when did this interest in pies first start? Can you remember?
Well, it started when I was a kid.
And why was that?
Because it tasted bloody good.
Were these pies that a member of your family made, maybe your mum or your grandma or somebody?
Well, my mum and local pie shops, to be honest.
Oh, so you were lucky enough to live in an area where there were pie shops?
Bloody hell, I'm from Bolton. There's a shop on every corner.
Well, if you don't mind me saying, that was going to be one of my questions, because you're obviously not from Lim, are you?
No.
I think we can tell that, ladies and gentlemen, by some of the words that Ian uses regularly, like chuffing, rocking, keep it real, keep it pie. Are these like words that are used a lot in Bolton?
No, just by me.
Oh, so this is a whole language of your own, is it?
Yeah, talk a load of shite.
So, yeah, but elaborate. I mean, chuffing. I mean, what exactly does it mean?
Well, really, it's another word backwards. I'll let you figure that one out.
Oh, I see. It's a bit of an anagram, is it?
Sort of, yeah.
I must admit, after spending a lot of time in Ian's company, you do start to use the word, and it does fit in to quite a lot of occasions quite nicely. Well, so moving on from that, have there been anybody inspirational in your life that's encouraged you with your pie making, or who you've watched and thought, oh, I'm going to make a pie like that, or somebody, who has influenced you in your cooking?
No.
Well,
I suppose my mum making corned beef hash and with a crust on and stuff like that.
Yeah, so that's why these pies are, basically it's good home cooking, isn't it? What you learn growing up. Yeah. Now, have you ever cooked for anybody famous?
All depends what your class is famous, really. When I was down at the Swan, we had Rooney's missus in, and a few people off Coronation Street and what have you. We once had David Guest in our pub when I were in the Faulkners. He didn't eat out though.
But if, let's say like it was Pie Day, and the Queen was coming. For some reason, she was in Lim, and she'd heard so much about your pies, she thought, I'm going to try one of these pies. What sort of pie do you think she would like, or what kind of pie would you recommend to her?
Probably Balmoral.
Oh, that's very apt. Very apt. What about David Cameron if he came? Do you think he'd like a pie?
Yeah, I suppose he would, really. Just give him mince and onion.
We won't elaborate on why you give him mince.
Well, no, I mean, it's that, other than steak and ale, it's probably the most popular pie.
Very good.
So,
very good.
you know.
Now, I know this, and I suppose quite a few other people do, that your hero is Iron Man. If you had to make a pie for Iron Man, what kind of pie would you make for him?
Corned beef pie. Because it's Edgeworth, really. And that'd keep a bit of lead in his pencil.
Right. I see. So, if you could make a pie though, like the ultimate pie, you know, one that you've never made before, or like it wouldn't even have to be one, you know, that you could eat really. It could, you know, just a fantasy pie. What would you put in it?
Mince and onion, because it's like porn to me. Honestly, it's beautiful.
Talking of porn, right. You know when you're rolling out the pastry and you're kneading it and squeezing it and kneading it and squeezing it and rolling it out and getting all hot now. What goes through your mind?
I just picture myself throttling your bloody throat.
That's not very nice, is it? I've tried to be
Well,
nice to
you think about it next time you bloody do some.
So, for the customers out there, is there any tips that you can give them on pie making, or is it something that you'd like to keep to yourself? Because you know, if you give your secrets away, well, it's a slippery slope, isn't it?
No, everybody should try and make pies. But if you can't, come here and try ours.
Yeah, well, they should try yours first, though, shouldn't they? Then think, oh, I might try and make one of them. Yeah. So, well, I think maybe that's given us a little bit of an in-depth insight into the man behind the bandana, and behind the pies, and behind the wheat sheaf. How long, I mean, is this going to be an ongoing thing? Do you intend to keep making pies until you turn your toes up?
Indeed. And I'm not being behind door when I'm saying that. Yeah.
Oh, you're not behind the door, Ian?
No, pies are in my blood now, I'm afraid. So, keep it real, keep it pie.
And that comes from the pie man himself, Ian Rayton. And I'm Irene Welsh, signing off. Rocking.
Rocking. Keep it real, keep it pie. Rocking. I don't think anyone will watch this. 7 minutes long. Oh, it's still going.